Amidst all the family drama, confirmation of a story potentially finally being finished, and CM Punk somehow finding a way to make the world long for one more round between the Great One and the best in the world, Triple H uttered something rather fascinating in that press conference thing a couple of days ago. After taking a walk back down WrestleMania memory lane, talking up the company's big old Netflix deal that they've just done, and dropping the names of the many male icons the company has forged over the years, Triple H talked about the fact that we were in a new era, a new time, and there was going to be an all-new WWE. Now sure, there is no getting away from the fact that a lot of this new rhetoric was likely designed to distance WWE and TKO as far as possible away from the disgraced former chairman, whose fingerprints were all over that aforementioned history Papa H was so fondly recalling moments before. Even from just that occasionally rather bull press conference though, it does actually seem as though Triple H and the rest of the team are trying to do things a little bit differently going forward. And it's about damn time too. But while WWE do seem to finally be experimenting a little bit further up the card, and treating certain parts of their roster with some much needed care and attention in this new era, the same sadly cannot be said for this company's most exciting and promising division. So I'm Gareth, that was a rather massive intro, and this right here is a video talking about the major problem about WWE's new era that nobody wants to talk about. We've come a long way since awkward bra and panties matches and diva searches, make no mistake. After seeing the women once again outdo their male counterparts during the Rumble matches this year, a number of genuine stars demanding your attention every time they pop up on screen, and more exceptional talent on the female roster, then why does it feel like this new era of WWE is about to deliver more of the frustrating same? If things are about to be taken to a whole new level, then it's about time that Triple H addressed one of the major problems in the game he's trying to play. So the first year of Triple H's creative tenure can probably be best described as solid? Outside of the jaw-dropping and genuinely quite captivating return of CM Punk at Survivor Series, most of his booking can be described as predictable to not that bad at all. However, for a guy who once booked some of the strongest women's programs North America has ever seen down in the black and gold brand, he hasn't half dropped the ball on the main roster, has he? From Rhea Ripley's surprisingly forgettable Women's World Championship reign to the really dull and never-ending Becky Lynch-Trish Stratus feud, to the eternally half-assed booked tag division, 2023 was often an exasperating year for all of these talented women who continually do all they can with the little they are given. Sure, the man still found a way to elevate tons of NXT talent because she's awesome. Ripley and Zelina Vega took part in a magical bit of business in Puerto Rico. Damage Control have kept folks glued to their inevitable implosion. And then you have Becky Lynch and Charlotte Flair who just don't know how to not show up and give their A game when the lights are shining brightest. But no matter how much WWE tried to tell you otherwise by creating world title straps that match the ones carried around by Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, their consistently disenchanting actions speak for themselves, really. And in 2024, Triple H's new era has picked right up where he left off in 2023. Just look at the way poor Bayley has been shoved to the side in the wake of what could have been one of the biggest stories of the year. The role model's record-breaking Rumble win, bolstered by all that Damage Control drama that I was mentioning earlier, should have meant that Bayley was definitely in the mix come WrestleMania main event, like talks and discussions, really. I mean, just like look at the whole scenario. And that was even pointed out by CM Punk, who was like, can we put some respect on Bayley's name here? She won the Rumble! After not even appearing on either the Rumble or WrestleMania posters, but still finding herself at the center of a number of engaging Damage Control developments over on SmackDown recently though, absolutely zero respect has been put on Bayley's name or her incoming clash with Io Sky at WrestleMania. At time of recording, it seriously looks like their long-term story is set to be paid off in the mid-card due to Rocky's return and Cody's U-turn. Just what every star dreams of after winning the hardest match in WWE, right? It's not just the Women's Rumble that's been completely undermined either. The way WWE recently presented both their male and female elimination chambers and their subsequent qualifiers is simply the latest example of new era same old under Triple H's watch, annoyingly. On the men's side of things, Papa H took to the squared circle alongside Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, and they showed off all the wrestlers, all these contenders who were going to be fighting for a place in the Elimination Chamber, showed all 12 of them, and then said what matches were going to go down over the next couple of weeks, all on one night. They went, there you go, we're going to set our stall out. In other words, they were quite logical, and it was clear that they put a lot of care and attention into what they were doing going forward. Whereas the ladies' chamber qualification matches have seemingly just been thrown together as the weeks have rolled by, with Raw even bringing with it the ridiculous announcement of a last chance battle royal, seemingly including people who didn't even appear in a qualifier to begin with. And this is all for one of the spaces in the Women's World Championship Championship #1 contender chamber match. The whole thing just screams afterthought when you compare it with the more thought out men's version of the match. And WWE haven't even bothered trying to hide the fact that Becky Lynch is clearly probably going to win this whole thing, surely, right? How they even had to square up with Rhea Ripley at the press conference, and if you're not planning to do that match at WrestleMania, then what are we doing here? Also, the complete apathy that's met not just a few of these Elimination Chamber qualifying matches for the women, but the constant stream of lazily booked women's tag matches on Raw and SmackDown is another reminder of just how poorly Triple H and the gang have booked and handled an absolutely stacked division. Admittedly, like I've already said, the folks at the very top of the division do still always find a way to make folks give a damn. And Nia Jax has at least been presented as the sort of unstoppable monster that she should have always been back in the day. But how in the hell is an Indy Hartwell, a Tegan Nox, a Zoe Stark supposed to grow into that level of superstar in the new era when they're constantly just sent out to die in front of a live crowd with little more than a thrown together video package and 2 minutes of ring time? What are they meant to do with that? Even the latest potential megastar ladies who do seem poised to join the likes of the Horsewomen and other unstoppable women at the top of the card have a bit of a reason now to be worried in Triple H's kingdom. Now just picture this, okay? A few weeks after putting pen to paper on her official main roster deal, Jade Cargill finds herself in Adam Pearce's office. And what's she doing there? Well, she's standing next to the rest of the other bickering women in the mid-card, and they're all arguing about who's going to get the next shot for the Women's Tag Team Championship. And after finally announcing another fatal four-way to decide the new contenders, a relieved Pearce lets out a sigh and wonders where he's going to get his next drink from after having to deal with all these angry ladies. Oh, well, what's he like, eh? And unfortunately, that made-up future scenario is not as unlikely as it definitely should be. A quick glance at the talents the game's brought into his women's division on the main roster over the last 12 months or so tells the story of a cerebral assassin who either just doesn't care about making returning or debuting stars feel special, or has simply forgotten how to. Kairi Sane's surprising comeback just resulted in her becoming another reliable name shuffled into the pack, though she has at least done what she can to make the women's tag team titles feel a little bit special again alongside Asuka, when they're booked to wrestle, that is. Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae swiftly turned into forgettable jobbers who spend more time grumbling in Adam Pearce's office than they do in the ring. Alba Fire and Isla Dawn regularly just go missing for months. Kaden Carter and Katana Chance have at the moment. I mean, they did win titles at one point, but then they've just been made to feel like nothing more than dancing losers for the most part. And Zoe Stark's promising arrival has completely fizzled out on the back of her part in the painful Trish Stratus Becky Lynch feud, though I will still say the steel cage ending was magnificent, but the rest of it was bleh. Stark also had a just fine match against Rhea Ripley at Survivor Series, and then she got dumped into an uninspiring pair alongside Shayna Baszler, and they've just not really done much after that. So what evidence is there to suggest that Triple H and the gang will be able to keep the likes of the magnificent Tiffany Stratton and Jade Cargill feeling special in these vital early stages of main roster life? Do you really trust the bloke who frequently books the scarily inexperienced Maxine Dupree to wrestle frequently on Monday Night Raw live to hide the weaknesses of those up-and-coming performers going forward? I know I wouldn't. All is not lost though, folks, and these major problems can actually be solved. That's if Paul Levesque does actually want to unleash an all-new WWE on his universe. The talent, environment, and stories are all unquestionably there. But does Trips honestly just have the guts to put his money where his mouth is? Just look at the violent masterpiece Rhea Ripley and Charlotte Flair were able to produce at WrestleMania 39. With a properly thrilling build, the Nightmare believes that the two could have probably main evented one of the nights. And to be honest, yeah, she's probably right. Now, both Bayley and Io Sky and Rhea Ripley and what will surely, it must be at this point, Becky Lynch, have the kind of programs that are deserving of a main event spot at WrestleMania. Like, they are two of the most gripping ones that WWE have to offer right now if you really look into them. Now look, Rhodes versus Reigns simply has to go on last on night 2. You got to finish the story stuff, we want Cody, it's been like a 2-year whole thing for this, so yeah, that's deserving of night 2's main event, yeah. But would anybody really be that bothered about the visual of the modern day 2-man power trip taking on the American Visionaries in the opening encounter of the entire WrestleMania weekend? I wouldn't be, we've seen Rock loads in the main event. And that would free up the space for WWE to make a much needed statement, letting the entire world know that in this new era, not even the return of the Great One can stop the strongest women's division on planet Earth from claiming one of the closing match spots at WrestleMania. Also, everybody involved in creating these epic PLEs should be a little bit embarrassed right now that we've gone 3 whole years without a woman in one of the main events, like an all-women's main event. We've gone 3 years, WrestleMania 37, man. And speaking of that match, one half of that main event classic between Sasha Banks and Bianca Belair, I'm talking about obviously Bianca Belair, should be going up against Jade Cargill at WrestleMania XL, because if you do that, you've got a chance to do something pretty cool as well. When was the last time WWE booked a blockbuster Mania women's match without a title on the line? I honestly can't remember. And what is stopping that finally becoming the norm in this new era, eh? Nothing, that's what. Just do the right thing, Paul. Make WrestleMania XL the night that WWE properly started to present both their male and female talents as equals, just like they always say and claim they are. Then after that, do not stop there. Take all this momentum and attention on a product that has never been hotter and pump it into more long-term plans for all the talented ladies I've mentioned in this video. Put simply, there's absolutely nothing new about this particular WWE era if Triple H continues to repeat the mistakes of the past. So it's time to really take things to a whole new level and consistently give these women the spots and pushes they flippin' deserve. Cheers for watching this video today, my friends. Now go and click on the things that we hate about our favourite wrestlers video that is somewhere around me. It's Ace. Bye bye.